Okay, we're going to have instructions on how to make a puff flower, like the ones they're using for the Fiber Arts Guild's Pop de Fleur. It's going to look like this when it's finished. There's a red one, there's a white one. They sort of look like carnations. They're cute, they're puffy, and they're very simple. This is a knitted alternative. What you'll need is a set of knitting needles, acrylic yarn, any color is fine, worsted weight, and appropriate sized needles. You'll also need plastic bags. You can use yellow, red, orange, white. I think blue's fine too because we have hydrangeas. I think green's okay. There's green hydrangeas. I don't think we're limited to any particular color in nature. So let's start with the plastic. You'll need to cut into approximately 3 by 3 size, 3 by 3 inch size pieces, maybe 3 by 4. Size is not as important when you're doing this. Cast on 15 stitches, and on your first row, you'll knit the first stitch. Take the plastic, a couple sheets together, bunch it, so sort of like it makes a little bit of a bow. Stick it in between the 2 needles so that one piece of the plastic, the bow, is facing you here. The other side is away from you. I'm going to leave a little bit of a long tail on the yarn, but make sure you're using the correct yarn when you're knitting. So you knit that stitch, trapping the plastic bag in between, and then flip the one that's away from you toward you. Knit the next stitch. Give a little extra tug on the yarn to hold the plastic firmly in place, and then you continue to put little bunches of plastic in between each stitch, being certain to give it a little extra tug. Fold it toward you, knit the next stitch. We're going to do this all the way across, and there's no such thing as too many plastic sheets. Actually, the more the better. More is better, I should say. Bring it toward you, folding it over, and holding it in place each time you knit the stitch. The reason it's not as important to have uniformly cut pieces of plastic is because when you're finished with the entire flower, you will trim it with some scissors so that it's even. So if they're a little bit long, it's okay. If they're a little short, that's all right too. So going all the way across the row, and one more. So again, just scrunching it together into a little bow shape. Set it right in between the needles. Hold it with your left thumb if you're left-handed, or if you're right-handed, it doesn't matter. You have to sort of hold it into the left thumb and forefinger. Knit the stitch, and then flip that piece that's away from you toward you, and you're knitting the last stitch, holding it in place. We've just completed one row. Right. The next row, which would be the opposite side, we knit the whole way across. If you're a continental knitter, you probably will have to go back to the other way of throwing the yarn. This really requires, when you're putting the plastic into place, it does require two hands. So continental knitting for this particular technique is a little bit tricky. But knitting the wrong side, it's okay to do it whichever way you prefer. Now that holds that first row snugly in place. You continue to knit 6 complete rows of plastic. After you've completed the 6th row of plastic bags into the rows of the flower, you cast off the last row. Okay, so the row after the last row of the plastic bags, cast off, and you end up with this. Actually, this is one that is multiple colors, and it's pretty scrappy looking, uneven, but I'll trim it. The back looks like this. All right, so we've got the 15 stitches across, 6 rows of plastic bags. As you're cast on, cast directly off. After you trim, it looks a little bit more uniform. Looks pretty. And on the flip side, you do have your long tail where you cast on. You have a long tail where you cast off, and then add an additional tail to the other corners, leaving you 4 long pieces on each corner, so that when this is being applied to a fence, it's easily tied on. So there you have it, knitted puff flowers. Enjoy!